to you, and you start off in the first with a horse called Hartog by Duke of Marmalade.
Yes, Andrew, it's Hertog, and it means Duke in Afrikaans, obviously. But improving horse. He had a fair first start. Still learning the 1,000 meters might be a bit short.
Mathew starting in the first race with a horse called ASHBAAL.
Yeah, and he showed us some glimpses of good work at home. But these 1,000-meter races on the inside track are very tricky for first-timers, and we expect him to be green, and he's probably one that will be running on and you can follow in his next few starts.
Then we move to the second race where you're represented by the two runners, Ocean's Charm and Tungsten.
Now, Tungsten been a bit disappointing lately. She started with good early form, so we fitted with the blinkers. We're hoping for a much bigger improvement, and if she does that, she has a place chance. The other one is a first timer. She might be a bit green. Ocean's Charm. She's a daughter of Count Dubois. A fair, nice type, but will need the run.
So obviously the fitting of the blinkers is something that you look to see improvement in the work. Has that been forthcoming?
That's right. We've tried it in work, and definite improvement.
So lights out. We can put the lights out.
Place chance.
Okay, then the pair of ASTROLABE and VIRTUOSA in the second.
Yeah, they're both similar types. Nice fillies that will definitely win a couple of races, but I think on Saturday they'll be very green and need the run.
Race 3 sees BYRON BAY and HUMOUR representing your yard, and the pedigree suggests that HUMOUR is definitely going to like the extra trip, and the way that BYRON BAY runs, although his pedigree we don't really know too much.
Yeah, he should enjoy that extra, Andy. You know, he's a type of horse. BYRON BAY I'm talking about. He came from last in his last start. He had a horrible draw, quite a big field. You know, he very nearly ran second. It was a good run, and I don't think he'll have any trouble with the 2-6 ridden that way. So you know, I'm hopeful for him.
HUMOUR has shown signs of improvement. He's obviously not been without his problems, but he's behind us and he's in with a very good pedigree.
Well, look, he's got a stayer's pedigree. I mean, Ideal World out of a Fort Wood mare. I just feel that he's another one that he likes to be ridden a little bit cold, and you know, smallish field. So if they go decent clip, which I think they possibly will, and he can just sit off them, he will make it up.
Okay, I'm not quite sure who this horse is named after, but in race 4 you've got Blockhead.
Yeah, there is a story behind it, but that's for another time, I guess. He ran a nice race on debut, and he's made the improvements, and he's got a good draw once again, so I think he's got a good chance.
Jet Power, we fitted him with a Cornell collar last time. He improved because his previous form not too great, but with a collar seems to be much better, so he has a place chance.
This fellow over here, Chainsaw, wants to make some tasty meals of your ears.
Yeah, Tasty Jacks, he's a progressive sort. His form doesn't say much. We have gelded him, so watch out for that. He had a good comeback run in a 1200 work riders plate, but also, you know, comeback run and way too short. He's looking for 2000 plus. So we're stepping him up into the mile and, you know, hoping for a place, but definitely looking for further.
And the duration between the comeback run and this run, you happy with that?
Yeah, happy with the duration. He recovered well from the first run back, so yeah, not a problem.
Lovely. Then on to the fifth. Is horse number 12, Rising Roxy Star, living up to her name yet?
Not yet. I think she's like her mother. She's probably going to want 2-4. Her first start wasn't bad. Just a 1200, you know, like pipe opener really at the Vaal, teach her the ropes. Poorly drawn here. We'll probably ride her a little bit cold again and just have her finishing. But she's not without talent, and you know, her day will come.
And then HAKEEM definitely won't be needing the run in race 6.
Yeah, he's very fit and pretty honest sort, runs in the money all the time, and we expect a similar run.
Roy, a kind of a leisurely start for you on Saturday with 3 representatives, all in race 7, Opera, Pool Party and Winter Watch with Striker Stratum aboard.
Yeah, from the top, Winter Watch got quite a big weight, but Stratum does get along well with her. She's very well, expecting a good run. Opera, it's her first run in blinkers, nicely drawn. She's always thereabouts, so hopefully the blinkers will just improve her a tad, but she too should run very well. Pool Party, the other one, the 1000 could be a tad short, but she's nicely drawn. She's in good shape, so let's hope she runs a good race. Let's hope we can fill the quartet. That would be nice.
Yeah, she's a very game sort of filly, never too far off. Gets a bit of luck in the running. She's drawn out of 8, you know, when they're drawn on the bend on the inside track. It might not be to her advantage, but she's a game filly and she's definitely with a place chance.
Fantastic. Then young Dennis Schwartz climbs aboard BULLSADE in the 8th.
Look, he's ridden her on many occasions. It took her 17 runs to win a maiden, but now that the penny's dropped, I mean, she's now already a 3-time winner. As she gets a little older, this is the first time she tries 1600. But I don't think it'll be a problem because she does sort of run on late and she's not too badly drawn. So she too should run a very nice race.
Faria and Only to Win pair up in the 8th, both very consistent and very game fillies.
Yeah, both fits in well. I think both like the distance. Expecting good efforts and hopefully one of them can win.
Any particular preference?
Probably Only to Win.
The feature movie on the Kalula plane on the wing is called Gone with the Wind, and Randall Simon climbs aboard him in race number 9 along with Shortstop.
Yeah, look, Gone with the Wind, he struggles to get draws. Every time we nominate him, he draws 32, 34, and once again, he's very badly drawn. So he'll need a lot of luck from there. But he is a horse that has a high cruising speed, so we'll opt to race him pretty close and hope he can get across. Well drawn, I would have given him a good chance, but from that draw, he's got it all to do. Shortstop, on the other hand, he's drawn quite nicely, but his last few runs tends to be slow away and run on. He was actually unlucky not to win his last start, got left 5 and just got beat. So I think if he jumps on terms, he could be a serious runner.
You could be triple-fisted in the 9th with 2 reserve runners, but Chainsaw is your main protagonist.
Yeah, look, Chainsaw, he's also comeback gelding. His comeback run in the 1200 that he won was his first run after gelding, which was impressive. The few runs before that you can totally write off. He was a thick-winded colt and needed an ambulance at the 200 with oxygen. So he really couldn't breathe and battled to breathe. And I was just very impressed the way he turned around after the gelding. So he's a progressive type. Also on form, you know, you might ignore him, but don't include him in all bets.
Fantastic. And then we move on to the 9th, where you have both No Man's Land and Trip to Troy with Chase Majon and young Nathan Klink aboard.
Yeah, well, Nathan's been riding Trip to Troy and he gets on well with them. The 2.5 kgs doesn't hurt either, the claim. Nicely drawn here, or reasonably drawn, and you know, I think you can forgive him his last start at the Vaal. He was drawn shockingly, had to come from, well, basically last, was never really going to get there. But the 2 runs prior to that were good, and I think 1600 inside track, I think he's going to enjoy that. So I'd say a lively runner, you know. No Man's Land, he's a difficult boy. Once again, horrible draw. You know, it's just got to go his way. He runs in and out. He'll run you a good race and then a couple of shockers. He's actually due to run a good race now. And, you know, once again, they have to ride him for luck. Where he's drawn, he's going to have to drop in and put in a good finish. He has, though, you know, to his credit, he's run very well on this inside track up to now.